make sure this shit's all working. I did this half-assed. I'm about to piss at that same fun. Nope. Yeah, there it goes. Hey, everybody.
They're counting on you. Against all odds, we've made it this far. But we both know that the old ways aren't going to work this time. This journey has changed us, changed you. But it's not over yet. You need the right tools for the job.
This is Grace coming at you live from the dungeons of Aufstrag. Now, they haven't spotted me yet, so it's really important that I stay quiet while I deliver this very special announcement from Troll Lord Games. Our crowdfunding campaign for the Reforged Adventurers backpack begins in the last week of May or the first week of June, and you'll be able to find it on BackerKit. Now, basically, the Reforged Adventurers backpack is your ultimate expansion for Castles and Crusades. Inside, you'll find 13 completely unique character classes, each brimming with story potential and now fully leveled up for high-level play. You'll also find a treasure trove of specialized gear packs. And obviously, there's one tailor-made for every single class in the game, but we didn't stop there. We've lovingly hand-packed, pre-made equipment bags for every kind of hobby, profession, or weird little interest that your character could possibly have. Seriously, everything from brewing, to trapping, to performing, to Anyway, we've also included updated rules for multi-classing, class and a half, and dual classing, now finally explained in a way that won't make your wizard cry. And last but certainly not least, all of the pages have been cleansed of their ancient bindings. So there's no more OGL content. New layout, new art, maximum magic. So whether you're a cunning arcane thief, or a brave skald, or just a thief with a dream, it's time to gear up, roll high, and carry out your destiny in style. I think the coast is clear, and it's time for me to move on. We'll see you in BackerKit. Close. Just gotta be ready for everything. Really super quiet. There. The Adventurer's backpack. Backlight. Fight heavy. Crap. This is Grace coming at you live from the dungeons of Alfstrog. Now, they haven't spotted me yet, so it's really important that I stay quiet.
Trollord Games. Join the fray.
In the wild, the Troll Lord sits deep in thought.
Oh,
We're live!
It's been a lot of troll lording today.
Mm-hmm.
It spilled into my office, as you can see. Hello, everybody. This is June 17th. It's Tuesday, so it's Ask Me Anything. Whatever. My name is Stephen Chenault. I'm the CEO of Troll Lord Games. And this is just our Q&A. If you've got any questions about Troll Lord Games, about the people who work here, or whatever we're doing, Kickstarters, backer kit campaigns.
Wait, do we have a backer kit campaign right now going on?
I think we might. I think something's cooking. I think there's something cooking with the backer kit.
Oh, that's very good.
I was very zoned out in Death Angel Shadow. I've given Dakota and myself, since we're the only ones here, a ferocious shipping quota for the week, and by God, we are going to make it. We are going to make it. We will have close to more than 1,000 packages shipped by the week's end by the time we're done. But it's been it's hot. Not a lot of room because I don't have a warehouse. But hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Cassiopeia says, I am very difficult to hear, low volume. Is that me or?
No, that's not our end. The normal volume you're always at. I'm not sure.
Is it just Cassiopeia or what the hell? Or are other people having trouble hearing me?
I can hear you just fine, unfortunately. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but you're
a little bit low. I mean,
does that help if I lean forward towards the microphone?
Maybe.
That seems a little bit. That seems a little bit too much. He sounds a tad muted. I don't know what to tell you guys. Okay, Imp. We're going to go with Imp. He says he can hear just fine, so that's what we're going with.
I will turn you up.
We don't know what else is going on.
That's 100% right there.
There you go. All right. So we got a couple of immediate questions about the Foundries. We have fantastic news at last on the Foundry. I'm really kind of at the end of my patience, but the loan was approved this morning, so we can get that started. Now the next step is we got to do something about permitting on the land or whatever. But I can let Logan know tomorrow that we can begin in the next week or so with actual construction. We are still struggling with the live feed. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. We'll just hire someone to hold up their phone, and they can just, live feed it on Facebook or something. I have no idea, but we'll do something. But yeah, so that's very good. The loan was approved at long last, and we can commence building this thing because we're way past need for this factory. So we're pretty jazzed about that. A lot of boxes, stuff you don't have anymore. Yeah, exactly. That's just it's the sad joke now, Greg Rage, between Dakota and I. If we had a factory, if we had coming after this catastrophe is over. And what this is, just to let everybody know, we have been mad shipping, I keep calling it Soylent Green at this point. It's Beneath the Canopy Green, Crusader 28 Beneath the Canopy Green screens, the Role Player's Vault. There's something else in the Barsoom book. and the map of Darkhold. Those things have been flying out to Reforged. We've got the pilot heading overseas to get everyone outside of the United States minus Canada taken care of. So, and we're really hoping by week's end, by Friday, that these packages are gone. And that's one of the reasons that you see this mess here. I've given a quota that we got to reach, and we hit yesterday's. We have not hit today's. It's about I'll have to go in there about 30 minutes, and we will hit today's, and then we'll go at it again tomorrow. So we will see. This mess is behind me in my office.
All right, we got a few questions coming in. Let's see. Lando asks, when will the Foundry CKG be up for sale for folks who want to buy it? Let them know, Lando. Hopefully I'll have it up by next week. I'm still waiting on something else. I know there's a broken link. It's not broken, but it's interesting that they call it that. That's interesting. But anyway, yeah, so that's where we're at with that. Tex Lafitte asks, he was asking about, explain a little more about having a live feed of the groundbreaking and all that.
Yeah, so the plan is, and I'm not certain, I'm going to have to actually, my wife is much smarter than I am, and she's far more patient with technology. So I'm going to sit down with her tonight, and we're going to explore some options, because I feel as if in this day and age that it's possible to do live feeds. I just feel like it. It seems to be impossible when I talk to people about it, but I just feel like somewhere, somehow, there can be a live feed. So we're going to explore what we can do to get something set up out there and get that rolling. I would really like the feed to begin when construction begins, which I'm going to guess is going to be next week. They have to get out there and bush hog first, and then get in some dozers and level stuff and all of that business. So the first few days will be that. Then we'll do a groundbreaking once they've kind of cleared the area, and just before they begin pouring concrete, we'll probably have grace down, and we'll do a groundbreaking. So in the next 10 days, I hope, next 2 weeks, as the TLG goes. You would think that, Sparky, I wish there was a way that we could like store energy in some kind of device that would allow you to not be plugged into like a wall or something. I don't know, some kind of bat. I don't know, something that would, just hold energy for a little while. But apparently they don't make that. Apparently they don't make things that hold energy.
Oh, that reminds me. When we get done, before we log off, I need to tell you a couple of things about that. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I just feel like that at this point we should be able to take energy and put it in like a small round cylinder, maybe like a battery, deal. Maybe something.
Maybe,
but they haven't been invented yet.
But you better have a lot of them for continuous feed. That's the problem. It's continuous.
But the feed needs to run for 8 hours. That's all it needs to do. It doesn't need to run for 24 hours for 90 days. It needs to come on in the morning. I don't know. Have we mastered solar energy? I just feel like we haven't mastered solar energy yet. Everyone keeps telling me this. It's impossible to get a live feed out there. So I'm going to sit down with Kathy tonight and see if we can. I'm being sarcastic when I'm being an asshole, but it's been a long day of moving shit. But we'll see what we can do.
So
and drinking beer and
stuff. Crimson Arrows wants to know, what's the story with the starter set? How's that rolling?
So it's gotten bumped. The covers were a little bit delayed, so we're probably not going to start printing that until, what is today, Tuesday, until tomorrow. We'll have it ready by Monday. It was supposed to ship the 16th, which is yesterday, I think. Mm-hmm. But I just shut everything down to get our primary focus right now is to finish the Reforged Kickstarter and get everyone, all of their products, including people overseas. So that'll take us the rest of this week to get that wrapped up. And then on Monday, Tuesday, we will begin shipping out the starter set. That is the plan there. And then we'll knock those out fairly quickly. Dakota and I can do about 150 a day, give or take. So that's what's next.
Let's see. Pat Drops asked, did the online character generator fizz out? I see it's available, but I have yet to hear of anyone actually using it. We sell them, quite a few of those. People use it, I think, all the time. We still sell them. People have lots of questions. So I think it's being used by folks quite a bit, actually. It's going through a current... Scott the Dev is actually going through and trying to reforge everything and make everything match up with the current printing of the book, so it's all nice and workable. It's whatever. Do you just want to go ahead and do a quick rundown on all the Kickstarters and everything we got going on? So, because I've got other questions, but you're going to end up doing it anyway, so you might as well just go ahead and do it now. You know,
Yep,
get it over
I can
with.
do that. It's. Let me get my little Kickstarter tab open so I can. My
Yeah,
brain
sure,
is
sure.
marginally fried at the moment.
I understand very well. I'm in one of those days too. I don't know why, but I
No,
am.
it's just funny. We've got so in one of the warehouse units, we've got so many pallets that this morning I climbed over the pallets, walking on the pallets like they were a road, and of course it's wobbling, and I had to throw boxes to Dakota, which was ludicrous. So this afternoon, I went down there and cleaned all that out, and it's I don't know 65 degrees down here or something. It's hot. All right, so let's do a quick rundown of these things. Armory and the Hermit closed out the Infernum. There's a few stragglers on both. We're going to circle back at the end or at the beginning of July and get the stragglers that have come in. So if you have pledged, paid your shipping, we'll take care of that in the next couple of weeks. And there's only a couple dozen, I think, and probably most of those are PDFs. Infernum is moving along very, very quickly. We're doing a second pass. I went in last week and relayed a lot of the stuff out and then relayed out and changed Peter's layout. But I fixed some stuff, put some art in, moved some things around, fixed the experience points on all that stuff. And we're doing a second round of editing. There'll be a third round of editing on that beginning next week. Exaltum is moving along very, very quickly. The monster section is in editing now. And I think we're down to like 10 or 12. The Paladin's mount arrived today. The art's moving faster than I had feared. So it's good. So that's moving quite along at a healthy pace. The World Builders Archive, that sucker. Where are we on that? The second book is in the layout. First book is done. The Canty Crew. I just need to pull it down and put it in a PDF and get it to you guys. Second book is in the layout. Third book should go in the layout next week. As soon as Peter is done with whatever Peter's doing at the moment, I can't remember. As soon as he is done, he will join Edmonds and will really speed up. We're missing 2 covers, Essential Places and Wayland Smith catalog and Essential Places is being done now. So I anticipate these books being wrapped up in the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks or so, something like that. As for Reforged, it's the last of the Kickstarters that are open. We are going to close that out this week, no later than Monday. There may be a few stragglers left over that we have to do Monday. But so Reforged will be done. And that'll really just leave 2 open Kickstarters, which will be Infernum and the World Builders Archive. Now, we've got an open backer kit campaign. What is it, the Castle Zagging stuff? Last I talked to Mike about a week ago. He's waiting for comments from me on map sub-level 3A. I can't remember one of the sub-levels. Sub-level 3 or sub-level 4.
Sounds right.
Yeah, one of those. I can't remember. But he's on level 3. 1 is done, 2 is done, and he's on level 3. Maybe he's on level 4. Now I'm getting all confused. But he's making really good time on that. Putting castles in.
What level was in the second part in the castle? The ruins.
The first level was in Upper Works, and its name eludes me at the moment.
Yeah, okay. I knew one of them was actually in the middle book or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's right. A Wolf Alone. It's only 10 books, so 2 weeks. We need to trademark 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
And in the midst of all of that insanity is the starter sets, which I said should hopefully start shipping next week. Very, very soon. Very, very soon.
On the horizon? On the horizon, we have a rising red planet, right?
We do. So I haven't given that much thought. It's somewhere on the kind of the back.
Oh, it's in the back of my mind, heavy.
Yeah. And we'll start promoting that probably after the backer kit campaign closes for the Adventurers Backpack. But what Chuck's talking about is Barsoom, the dying planet. And this, of course, is a role-playing game based upon Edgar Rice Burroughs' John Carter series. And Davis has made tremendous headway on the game itself, but what it's really missing is art. We need to get rolling on the art. But until Exaltum is done and the GFW stuff is done, the art's just going to have to wait a little bit.
That's always the case.
We do actually have an adventure coming out for Amazing Adventures. It's not for Gamma World or Amazing Gamma. It is Free Fire Zone. I will get that to Peter Bradley probably, maybe tomorrow. Probably next week.
Dark Lights Said Barzoom, planet of militant nudists.
Yeah, yes, indeed. That's exactly what it is, Dark Light.
The beautiful people.
Wears clothes. Yeah, nobody wears clothes in Barsoom. However, the Edgar Rice Burroughs estates did ask us to clothe the people in the art, so we will be
Good.
adding clothing.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, some of those Tharks aren't so pretty. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
The Tharks are kind of
Akania the Fierce, I like that name, asks, is there a possibility of a book coming out that encompasses sub-races, like the complete books from Second, like the complete book of Elves and Monsters or Dwarves? Sub-races.
You know, we talk about that all the time. That's really something right up Davis's alley. He's actually an anthropologist for years, for over 2 decades. He's a cultural anthropologist, and he did digs all over the West and in Arkansas and Alabama, Mississippi. So that's kind of right up his wheelhouse, and he's wanted to do those for a long time. They're not currently on the agenda, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're on the agenda soon. Once one of the things we're trying not to do is tons of just splat books. So what these books would just be stuff that this is the dwarf. These are suggestions on how they live and how they dig and how they do this and how their burial practices and what they found valuable and what they find offensive and what they find unoffensive and all this other stuff, so that you can. It's like a lot of the material that we publish at Troll Lord Games. It's really just extra stuff for you to take as background noise to help you develop your characters or your game if you're the game master. Because it's one of the funny things about this particular milieu. We publish role-playing games. Troll Lord Games publishes role-playing games. We play the crap out of role-playing games. And we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that 9 out of 10 of the people who pick up these role-playing games say, I want to change this. I'm going to change it. I was talking to Chuck yesterday, and he changed a whole part of the game. I was like, no, dude, that's not in the game. He goes, no, it is in the game. You remember that, Chuck? Chuck was like, yeah, it is in the game. I said, no, those rules, you made that up. And he goes, well, it's in my game. And that's the perfect like analogy of what Castles and Crusades Amazing Adventures is, because we know that you guys, you're game designers too. If you've ever played tag or you've ever played whatever, cops and robbers, you're a game designer, and you're going to get in there and you're going to tinker. The fighter needs this. I want to use
we all do it. We all do it for sure.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
It's just natural. It's natural, and that's good, and that's good. So those types of books would be cool. I think they would add a nice, really kind of element to the world building gazette. What's the word I'm looking for? What is it?
Gazetteer?
No, gazanga. What word am I looking for?
I don't know. You're looking for the zine? Gazetteer?
No, it's not. It's not a descriptive word like that. It's like excitement. Gazinga. No. I don't know.
Bazinga? Bazinga? Are you trying to say bazinga?
Maybe. I don't even know what sentence I was saying now.
I don't know. I'm lost with this
the
one.
Smorgasbord of world building mess.
Oh,
we have here.
you're talking about a Rosetta Stone of.
There you go. Look at Chuck bringing it out.
Yeah.
Yes, Manfred, Pixie Storm, Brian Crossbreed. There you go. What were we talking about yesterday, Chuck? That we were going to use the gnome. We're talking about.
I don't remember now. Damn it!
It was really funny. It was something about backpacks, and the gnome was going to be as an equipment list, and the gnome was going to be on the equipment list as like a fly swatter. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was something we were going to use it for, kind of like people joke about using dead goblins to find traps. We're going to use gnomes.
Yeah,
right?
Something like that.
Dead or alive. Doesn't necessarily have to be dead. Yeah.
Oh, dwarves have beards, else they ain't dwarves. There you go, Coop Waffles.
Oh, I don't know, Coop. I mean, what about dwarves from the deep lands? The warm lands. Would they not have no hair, shave their face off? And
there's the Bardic Tote in Erd who at the Battle of dude, man, my brain is just shot through. And
I know.
The Battle of Olensk, which was a huge battle. So many dwarves died that those who lived shaved their chins right here.
Like a strap?
Yeah, and if you ever see one of those dwarves, they survived that battle. And you should probably avoid them because they're in a cantankerous mood. Always.
Oh, for sure. They're probably bitter, right?
Bitter and angry and seeking vengeance against the Gnorks or the Back Scratchers.
So they're basically my boss. Okay, got it. Oh, wait, what? I let people know now that you don't like Gnorks. That's bad.
Gnorks, Ganels. I kind of like where this is going.
These guys are cracking me up. The Doppelgangers. What the world?
A few pints contained, and there you go.
Oh, thanks for the sub, Chris. We appreciate that, buddy. I tell you what.
Any more questions float up?
No, I think everybody's just here to hear us ramble on and stumble through trying to get our thoughts straightened out.
As often happens when we don't have questions about what's going on or we're discussing gaming or whatever, I want to let everybody know I watched a movie 2 nights ago called Emily the Criminal. It's with Audrey Plaza. I think is her name. Plaza. It is fantastic. I highly recommend that movie. It's very, very, very good. Check it out if you're into kind of these, I don't know, indie movies, whatever. It's good flick. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Did I tell you what we're watching right now? We're making our way through Homeland, which is actually really good.
Homeland. Why have I
Came out like it's got like 8 seasons. It came out.
Oh, yeah, I've never seen that.
Dude, I'm telling you, you need to watch it because it's nuts. The main character in it, she's insane. Like literally, she's nuts.
I'll check it out.
It's very good if you like Jack Ryan kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, this Emily the Criminal, Audrey Plaza, I think I always kind of have because she's from Parks and Rec, I think. I always have this idea of this is the character she can play, but she played such a different character in that movie. I was blown away.
Oh, it took you away. You surprised.
Yeah, right. I didn't know it was her. It's just she should have gotten an Oscar for that. She just did a fantastic job. And the movie itself is really good. I mean, it's just a good little short contained story. Like, you don't have to, right. There'll be sequels or prequels or whatever's going on. Not this week, Lummox. Hopefully next week.
Yeah, Coop, he's answering that too. So I guess they missed it earlier. But yeah, hopefully next week we'll be shipping the starter set out to all the pre-orders and have it up on the store for sale. Yeah. Yes, Savage. Let's see.
I've been told to watch it many, many times.
It's really good. I didn't know because it's a little older, but it's actually really good. It I don't know, man. It's actually really good. It starts off, you think, I don't know if I'll make it through 8. Then you keep thinking there's 8 seasons. It has to do something crazy. But over time, you really find yourself involved with the characters, actually. It's pretty good.
Cool.
Let's see. Almog28 says, since the CNC core books are available as add-ons, any chance for the Foundry book module as well? Looking great, by the way. Probably not going to do any more add-ons on. I did a couple more, and we had like one person do them, and it takes some time to get all that set up, and then we have to worry about when we do fulfillment, tracking all that and providing it. And it worries me about that, so I'm not sure about that, honestly.
The more you add on, it gets more and more.
Yeah, and the bad part of it is I don't mind the crowdfunding things, the things that we have to do, but they take a lot of time up for everyone here, and that's fine, but man, it gets us behind in so many other areas. I have to be smart about it. Like emails. We were talking about emails earlier,
Yeah.
So it's just insane.
It's very interesting. And that's part of obviously we love crowdfunding and it's a great way, for us all to get together and do this, what we do. But it creates a crescendo of work, I suppose.
That's a good way of describing it. Absolutely, like a waterfall. Yeah, it's good. And like Jeremy just pointed out, if you order something now as an add-on on there, and regardless if it's something we have in stock or not, it won't go through until fulfillment. So you got to wait that much longer for it.
Yeah, and this one won't be too bad. We're still on target to have this guy to the printers by July 15th, July 16th, 17th.
We'll see. I had a guy ask me today if he could add on his adventures or his adventures backpack stuff to his Reforged, and I was like, listen, Reforged is going now. I can't guarantee we won't screw that up. We don't really like to do that because it's.
It needs that one especially is in some kind of
right. Can you imagine? Oh, by the way, Steve, here's about 4 more that want a hole. You'd be like, what?
Yeah, that's been, and we did it. I mean, I made the decision to do it, and I still think it was a good decision.
Yeah.
Split shipping that Kickstarter, but it has caused some joy. It's caused an extra level of joy.
Yeah. Hey, $1,000,006. What's up?
There, North Carolina?
Holy Carolina.
Yeah, that's my thing. I've been saying that for decades. Holy Carolina. Started saying that back in like 2005, I think. Before that I would say sweet. And then it switched to Holy Carolina and that just stuck.
Oh, that's
An
interesting,
official
Coop.
Gygax photo. We'd have to get permission from the estate, Coop Waffles.
Yeah, that would be cool though.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I know. He's
Did you hear it, Seth?
his chair has been that way. It's behaving for a while, but now he's found a way to get it to start doing it again. That's what's going
Now it
on.
won't squeak, damn it. Ah, damn it.
Oh, the
love
world
a
behind the
squeaky chair.
ice wall. That sounds cool, Bean Six. That sounds cool.
I absolutely love a squeaky chair. I found a crazy world building project online that would be a great AACC game. It's called The World Beyond the Ice Wall. I haven't heard of that. That's very interesting. It's a project online. Are the versions of the 3 core books on sale now?
Oh, yeah,
non-OGL Yes, Gomer. Yes, absolutely.
We don't have any more of the.
eh,
We don't have any more of the other ones. So.
we got a few scattered around. I'm not sure what we're going to do with them, but Amazon orders them every now and again, so we might keep them feeding that fire for a little bit.
Yeah,
But
but definitely not in the
Ooh.
store. Anything that Dakota ships out of the store is going to be, for the core stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Any questions floating around?
Nothing, man. Everybody's just kind of chilling today. It's
not-
been a long day.
It has. If not, then I will find something to ramble about because I can ramble mostly about movies.
Well, I'm curious. I do have a question for you myself.
All
So
right,
one of
fire.
so we had 2 stretch rewards we
Oh,
announced
yeah.
today for the backer kit. Let's talk about the first one first.
Yes.
The PDF. It's a book that's not for sale in our store.
Correct.
What's it about again?
It's A Tale of Two Worlds. This is a book that Davis and I wrote together years and years ago, and I believe I'm going to pull it up now. It's 6 short stories that he and I wrote. Let's see. There's Tales of Wonders. Where is it? There it is. 3 Inzaya short stories. That's Davis's world, and 3 Aird stories. That's my world. That's the Codex of Aird. The first one that I wrote is Coburg and the Water Lily. This is a really cool story if you're into the Aufstrag and Coburg thing. This kind of gives you an idea of who Coburg is. And for those of you who don't know, Aufstrag is this ginormous 21-level dungeon, above ground dungeon. It's actually a tower in the world of Aird, where the dark god Unklar ruled for many, many centuries. His chief lieutenant, well, I shouldn't say his chief, one of his lieutenants was Coburg. When Unklar was banished from the plane, Coburg assumed command of Aufstrag. He really doesn't control anything but the throne room and part of level 19, I think. 18, can't remember. But Coburg is a wickedly evil son of a bitch, and he's a coward. He's terrified of death, but he's immortal. He was cursed to be immortal. And this Coburg and the Water Lily is a love story that really is the undercurrent story in our large Undying War campaign that you can get on site. That's 13 adventures, I think, loosely linked together that bring you to Coburg's throne room. So Coburg and the Water Lily gives you just a good idea on that. And the second story is A Night at the Cocklebur. Cocklebur Inn and Tavern is a tavern in my favorite stomping ground in the world of Aird, which is the Darkenfold, in a town called Inns Meat. And this is just a night. You're going to read about some dudes telling a story about his adventures, but it's really the people who dwell there in and around the town. Shades of the Red God is a story about Orandul, the Red God, which is our equivalent of the evil deity in Aird. I hate to give alignments, dispositions to the gods in Aird because they're so arrogant that it doesn't really
apply because
it doesn't. It just doesn't. It doesn't seem to fit.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't see themselves as They're just gods, and everybody else is like. I mean, are you evil when you drive across an ant with your car that you didn't even know was there? And that's how these gods look at people. They're just really. I mean, Orandul is going to look at your 25th level character like it was a rock that fell off of a cliff. He just doesn't care. Yes, I choose to be evil. But anyways, Orandul is evil, and Shades of the Red God is his tale. I can't tell you what Davis's are. Tales of Inzaya are 3. There's a tale of Huothar. I do not know who that is. A tale of Phidias. That is my character, so I know how. I can give you a spoiler how it ends. It's not well. And in the founding, I'm not sure what Davis has there. So it's 3 Tales of Aird and 3 Tales of Inzaya.
Yeah. I was looking at him earlier just for a second. I thought, oh, that's Phidias. I recognize that name. That's from
Nummets is looking for a good adventure with a savage white dragon. Can you suggest
Ooh.
anything? We have a blue dragon in Malady of Kings.
Mhm.
There's one other dragon somewhere. I don't. There might be a dragon in the S5, the Horned Gods of Winter. There's a white dragon. I'm mixing in my head. I did this really wicked white dragon encounter that annihilated the 10th level party. A few of them survived through it, but and when they were trying to get to the dragon, the dead dragon's treasure, it was all frozen in ice, and they couldn't get to it. They were digging out with a pickaxe. When the other white dragon returned, it was a mess. It was a giant mess. It was wonderful, but I don't think we have any. And Jeremy's saying, and it's not been released yet, but Adel's, is that how you say that? Adel's Keep has a blue dragon in it. White dragon is one of my favorite dragons to use. It's not so ridiculously powerful that it's going to instantly kill the characters, but it's powerful enough. Plus, I'm just fascinated with, as much as I don't care for the snow, I'm fascinated with snow and ice and whatnot. Probably something from AD&D, 2E Days, probably Forgotten Realms, Icewind Dale. There you go. I've just found a podcast here on YouTube about aliens and stuff that might be interesting. Yes, Johan, if it's not ahead, already watch list. Yes, Area 52 Investigations. That's a podcast. Let me make a note of that. I am currently reading a UFO.
A new follower has joined the fray.
I'm still very, very fascinated with this. It's Area 1. And I can't really find any podcasts that I'm enjoying. There's a few that they've had decent episodes, but so much of this alien stuff, and this drives me a little crazy. And I know there's a lot of people out there who think the whole thing's nuts, but they don't say anything. They just say, we've got this announcement coming. We've got this, we're right on the tip of a discovery, and they don't actually say what any, or ever have an announcement or any of this stuff. It just drives me a little bit bonkers. But there's a lot of truth, and there's a lot of stories in there. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of stories in there that are fascinating, that are just kind of passed over. And when you pick up, like, this is Robert Powell. I'm reading this, and he's a scientist, and he's kind of going at it from a scientific perspective. But he's dabbling in different reports from Operation Blue Book and later reports that MUFON has picked up, the Mutual UFO Network. And some of these stories are fascinating. They're just very fascinating tales. Whether they're true or not, that's for you to decide. But I wish that more podcasts would do that, would actually, in today's podcast, we're going to discuss Stephen Chenault's sighting of, the blah, blah, blah. That would be very cool. But they don't. They just talk about these government committees that don't go anywhere, and people like Lou Alessandra, whatever his name is, that it's interesting stuff, but he doesn't ever say anything. He doesn't ever say, he keeps saying, we're at the tip of the spear of discovering this. And anyway, that was 3 years ago. How long is the spear? It's going on the tip. So, drives me crazy. So I'll check that out. I will check out Area 52 Investigations and see if they give me something. Or I'm going to start my own podcast and do it myself.
Let's see.
I don't have anything else to do.
So Chris, 1995 asks, question of Yigsberg. In the original Gold was an undervalued, and in subsequent ward releases, there were calculations for corrections. How will this be addressed in the reprint?
So I gotta look. So Gary had, after we printed Castle Zaga Ginsburg, Gary had some corrections that were in there, and I need to, as soon as Mike is done, I'll dive into those and see if that's what he tinkered with. Jeremy, please do not start a podcast.
Well, you're going to be on.
Say that, Jeremy. I've been talking to Tyler about it for about 6 weeks now. He's been buying equipment. But so I don't know. I got to look at the prices that you're talking about. I don't specifically remember that. I don't doubt it. But one of the things we got to be careful with Gary, as he was really toying with moving, and we're not going to do this, but he was really toying with moving everything to the dollar and the penny and whatnot, and so that may be tied in there somehow. I gotta look at it to see what he was doing. It feels a fire printed, or just, it's not. We have not released it yet. It is done, written, art's done. I don't think we're going to do maps for that. We might, and it's just got to go to Peter Bradley for layout. But I got Peter doing a couple of other things he's got to get done first, and then it'll go to him. And I want the layout to be a little bit more a little dynamic. So we'll see.
See, Good King Niles asks. I imagine from the earlier conversation that if I backed CZ with the core
That's
books,
right, Johan. Do what, Chuck?
Good King and now asks. I imagine from the earlier conversation that if I backed CZ with the core books as add-ons and AB, there's no way to have the core book ship with AB since it'll be ready so much earlier. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I got an email for somebody wanting to do Reforged.
Yeah, it's just too hard. So if you want the core books, I'd recommend you go get them from the site now, or back the Adventures Backpack because it should ship in August. Yeah, it should ship in August. Like I said, we're on target for that. It's already deep into editing, and he's relaying out the backpacks and equipment now, which is a huge portion.
Yeah, you see what he's saying? He basically wants to know if he can not have them ship with CZ and have them ship with Adventures Backpack. That's what he's wanting. But the problem with that is we could say sure, and I guarantee it would never happen because we're just so.
Well, it would happen. He would get 2 sets of books.
that's probably exactly what would happen. He would either get 2 or he wouldn't get any because we would forget.
So this is so what hard. I don't know. That would be very, very hard to do. Very, very hard to do. Now, what you can do probably is go in and refund. I don't know if you can do this. Honestly, don't. I do refund those core books from your Kickstarter campaign, from the Castle Zagged campaign I made. And then if you the backpack, go in and add them to that, or just order them from the store. So give that a shot. That's what I would do first. See if it'll do a partial refund on your pledge. BackerKit's pretty versatile. Squeaking again. BackerKit's pretty versatile, so it may actually let you do that. Bucks, basic unit of currency. Yep, there you go. Money's always been a sticking point with me. The weight of value has never made any sense. I always have adjusted money systems to make more sense. Yeah, and GD, that Davis. I'm kind of there. Not really because it's too much work, but I'm constantly, at least once a week, I bring up we need to create an economy of scale. And Davis would love to do that, but we all know the monstrous undertaking that would be, and it would shoot a mess through all of the publications we've done before. So you need a team of economists and accountants and all that stuff. It would be interesting. I don't know. It would be very, very interesting. But I just don't. Davis said it best. If he was here, he could kind of reiterate what he said. But he's always said that the problem with it, at the end of the day, everybody wants when they kill the dragon for there to be a mountain of gold that they take. And if those treasure hoards did exist in any number, any economy of scale that you would have, one would have to be, based on gold and where everything's crazy expensive, or two, that treasure would annihilate local economies and inflation would go through the roof and blah, 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 blah. Or you just ignore it all and you go forward. And you got a lot of gold and you can buy whatever you want. That's why you have banking clans. Yes, Lumix, yes. Yeah, Jeremy, I can't imagine it being. I think it would work if you like it in Nzea. So the Nzea setting, if you play in Nzea, you're never going to find a dragon hoard of gold ever. It's just never going to happen. It doesn't exist. If you play the setting as Davis designed it, and if you play with Davis, you're never going to find a hoard of gold ever. You're going to find a coffer with like 12 gold pieces in it and maybe a silver dagger, something like that. Even as a higher level, you're never going to find that. So in Davis is if you build the economy of scale into the setting, I think, and you make it a part of it, then it's doable. But then you have to base your treasure hoards on what's going on in the villages and prices and this, that. I think it has to be kind of hardwired into it. My economy it all works out because of magic. Something, yeah, exactly. That's what it becomes. It's like Jeremy said. It's just too much to keep up with, unless it's part of it. So if you're playing an Nzea thing, there's just not a lot of treasure in there that you're going to get a hold of. Yeah, there are tons of gold. Your party can only carry so much. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Until you get a bag of holding Greg Rage, and then they just pull it all crap in there. It's interesting. I mean, if you think about how much gold, now, I don't think this is actually in the literature, but in the movie, it's The Hobbit? Yeah, The Hobbit. In the movie The Hobbit, when Bilbo goes in and meets Smaug, and I'm talking the live action, not the cartoon. I think the cartoon had a lot of gold too. The amount of gold that dragon is sleeping on is absurd. It is, it is a huge amount of gold. Even to think pre-dragon that those dwarves had all that gold. It's very interesting. But I guess if you think that dwarves hoard it, a dwarf doesn't spend gold. He spends silver. He hoards the gold so that he can fashion. Maybe I don't know. It's easier.
I mean, they definitely had a good gimmick. They had a good thing going on somewhere in the past because they clearly made some cash.
They made some cash.
I mean, either that or that lonely mountain should be a freaking plain with just mined out. I mean, somewhere there's some mountains just completely eradicated from the face of the planet. You know, it's
right, all the gold is taken out of.
Yeah, like that damn mountain down in Central America that was all silver. You remember that? The Spanish tore that son of a bitch down to the ground, man. There wasn't nothing left.
Well, gold mining, any kind of mineral mining can be crazy.
Yeah. They dug too deep. That's a fair point.
They dug too deep. Yes.
Crimson Arrow 72 asks, question. Are you going to love this one? How close are you to greenlighting spell cards in tarot size? I mean,
so I greenlit spell cards well over a year ago.
You did.
Probably 18 months ago. And I believe Grace, Chuck, and Nick took it over at first.
Right.
And it never got done. And then Jason Bay volunteered to do it, and it still hasn't got done. So it's
because we've got some guy that we work for that keeps bringing us shit to do. No.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you've got 40 tasks and say 8 people, there's going to be some shit put to the bottom of the list. Let's just face it. That's what's going to happen, because you got to kind of feel it like, let's say if it's Walking Dead and we've got to build us a place to survive. And someone else over here wants to know if we can have some signs made of what time dinner is going to be. Guess what's going to be done last? You know?
Yep.
That kind of thing. Anyway.
Yep.
Stop doing whatever and do this.
Jeremy's got it about right.
I've never heard those words ever. I don't know. Usually it's Chuck. If you're bored, reach out to me. Might have something we can rustle up for you to do around here.
It's usually I'm incredulous at how long things are taking to get done. So I said, okay, well, you didn't finish that, so we got to get this done. Yeah. So here you are. I will tell you this. So here's a funny story. I'm gonna tell on Dakota. So Dakota was taping boxes this afternoon.
Yeah.
And he tapes one way and I tape another way. We both tape, and he's always making fun of my thing. He says it's just idiotic the way I tape.
Sure.
And he's not completely wrong. But he's out there very carefully taping these boxes and stacking them and all this stuff. So I went in there to help him. So I started taping boxes, and I'm not nearly as careful when it comes to the taping. I pack well, but when the tape goes on, I could give a shit if it's straight or I don't care.
He's meticulous. I've watched him. He's meticulous.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm just taping like crazy. And then he was trying to get some labels printed, and the label thing was waiting. It takes forever for anything electronic to do anything. So I slid him a box, and he taped it, and he finished his before mine, and he said, see, I finished my way's faster. And I said, dude, you started before me. It wasn't faster. He goes, no, it was faster. So I said, all right, let's do this. So I gave him a box. And then we put our tape guns down, and we taped the boxes. And he beat me hands down. Completely. And I said, all right, let's see how good you are. Let's see if you can do 2 while I do 1. So he does 2. And I hadn't even finished my 1. I said, let's see if you can do 3. And then he figured out what I was doing. I was making him go.
You just kept taking longer and longer, right? That one box, right? That's awesome.
Well, he was taping, when he was competing with me, he was taping easily twice as fast as he was taping by himself. And I said,
I bet he was speeding up and everything, man. He was going to kill it, right?
I said, if you would tape that fast by yourself, this would go much, much faster. And he goes, oh, yeah, but I got to be meticulous, blah, blah, blah. And so that's what everyone around here experiences. I'm like, all right, you got 8 hours to do this, and they don't get it done in 8 hours. And maybe, logically, they couldn't get it done in 8 hours. That's a possibility I'm willing to entertain.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing about you. I'm going to tell on you a little bit. So one of the things I've learned about you in the last almost 9 years is that, unlike a lot of us, and I'm not saying this is good or bad, you'll set a goal for the day, and by God, it will happen or blood will flow. It's as simple as that. You will bring out the fire. And that's, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's definitely different from a lot of us. A lot of people who are used to clocking in and clocking out and like automatons, right? You know.
Yes. I do give quotas for sure to myself mostly, but
Yeah, but it's very impressive because you get shit done. I won't say that. I won't argue that point. I have friends that ask me all the time. They're like, dude, I think I answered something you sent me last night. We're like, you're not on the clock. I said, you don't understand. And I said, what do you mean? I said, I'm not working at a factory where I just punch in and punch out.
yeah.
Publishing in most companies, this kind of work, you're married to it. It's just part of your life.
Yeah, it's really it's
You know?
there's a couple of things that are interesting that I've had to adjust to, and I'm sure many people have had to adjust to, but because so many of the trolls work in different time zones, and we're talking from the United Kingdom to California to British Columbia, that I get. There's no point on any day.
Occasionally Thailand.
Sunday through, yeah, occasionally Thailand. Sunday through Saturday that I do not get a DM from somebody, and Steve, I need this to do this to do this. So I'm always, and it goes till about what Jeremy works till like 7 or 8 o'clock at night or something like that. So it's pretty constant. So it's an interesting thing. You can never walk away from it, but it's even worse than that and we're all experiencing this. Is not unique to Troller Games, because so much stuff is tied in now to social media, and computers and the phones and the laptops and the iPads and all that shit. None of us really get away, right? I mean, when you were a salesman in 1967 and you left the office, you might have a briefcase with you that you carried some papers with you, but you weren't going to get any emails.
No, you're right. Something funny about that. Me and my wife, we went on a cruise. Oh gosh, I don't even remember. This was back years ago. But I remember when we went on the cruise, I had the first time I'd ever been anywhere, and I had to cut my cell phone off for 10 days, right? And I'm telling you what, when I cut that thing back on, we got back into port, I turned it on. It sounded like a damn casino in Vegas just going off, right? All this, right. And we sat there and looked at that for minutes and laughed about it. And we still had to stay in Florida for 3 days. And we looked at the phones and we cut them off for 3 days. We left them off. It was so nice. I had forgotten.
It's crazy.
I think as a society, we've forgotten how to unplug.
Oh, I think so. And I'm in an interesting spot because no one in the company can do all of their job without me sending them something. Whether it's a piece of art or it's some ad copy or it's an old PDF or whatever it is, it's got to be something. The server thing we had it for a little bit while, but that never worked how I wanted it to. It was cumbersome and didn't work, so that's got to be readdressed. Which we tinkered with a couple weeks ago, but couldn't crack it. But
because I remember when we first set that up, I don't mean to interrupt this. We'll say originally we first set that up, it was working well and it was nice because it was just like, oh, here we go,
Yeah, it just didn't allow me to update it.
Right.
And as soon as there's like a terabyte of shit, and TLG's backlog of crap is like for 25 years, it's 1.6 terabytes. It's a lot. And I just needed stuff updated, and it wouldn't do it. It wouldn't do it without syncing hard with my computer and shut my computer down. So it was a big issue. And we had to turn that function off. So then I was just going to upload it once a month, but it wouldn't upload more than like 10 gigs or whatever crazy bullshit. So that didn't work either. So,
yeah, it's crazy, man.
It is an interesting, and this is just logistics, right? This is in every company and every age. That first dude or woman or whoever who made the wheel, he had to logistically figure out, what to do with his wheel, how to get it and grease the road and whatever. There's just lots of logistics going on with these things. And when you got as many products and as many product lines as we do, it's fun. Sisyphus, yes, there you go. It's funny, Manfred. I was sitting here one night 3 or 4 years ago, and of course I work from home. I don't know, I was working on something, and it was about 11 o'clock or something. And my youngest son walked through to get a Dr. Pepper, and he stopped and he looked at me and he said, what did he say? You must imagine Sisyphus happy. It was so funny and poignant because a lot of the times I'm just redoing, I gotta do this, whatever. You just keep going at it. But it's a fun job, so I don't complain too much. It was a little warm today, but I don't mind though. I'd rather be warm than cold. I'll be honest with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. You can only put on so many clothes.
Well, and your fingers get cold, and you got gloves on. You're dropping boxes, shit. You can't get things, and gloves just piss me off, and they just just irritate shit out of me. At least in the hot, I'm just hot. Take a shower.
It's about time for us to get out of here, but I wanted to point out a couple of things real quick. There's a link in there in the chat. If you have it, Back the Adventures Backpack, and you're curious about it, go over and check it out. We'll usually answer questions about it on any of our streams if you like. We have tonight, later on, we are going to have the Charisma Cats back on tonight, doing what is it called? Scrap, right? Is that it? Yeah, Scrap. And
Yes,
that's going to be on at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then after that, I think it's around, I really can't tell, honestly, because I'm looking at the stream in this tiny little box, but look at that here. Got to find my stuff.
Yep,
Here it is.
me.
Here it is. I had to see the schedule real quick. And then after that, tonight at 8:30 p.m. on Guild Superior, we're going to have Shadows of Greyhawk, which is going to be a CNC Summer of Siege game. Should be pretty good. You can go check that out there. There's the link for that. If you guys want to go over and see Dave and Guild Superior, they should be doing some fun things tonight. Oh, you just bagged it? Thanks a lot, Marshall. Appreciate that. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you,
good.
Marshall.
It's good stuff, man. Good stuff.
A wolf alone, you're very much like Davis. Davis despises the heat. He loves the cold. He absolutely loves the cold. And I'm not even sure what the temperature is down here in Manfred, but it's been kind of hot. It's just humid. We had a lot of rain this year. Lots of rain.
The heat is coming for that state. I know very well what's coming your way.
Oh yeah. July is when it'll settle in July and stay here till mid-September. Sparky knows, and Sparky's even in a cooler part of the state where he is. It's about 5-6 degrees colder than it is down here.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to stream of starter kit on Foundry VTT. We hope to have that starter kit rolling out next week. So very, very soon. Very, very, very soon. But at any rate, all the trolls here do an absolutely fantastic job working through the mountain of material that's everywhere. And it's not, no one has a job. It's everybody here has a bunch of jobs, and we all do it, and everyone does here fantastic, fantastic work.
Mm-hmm. Despite
my perhaps too narrow of a time frame for things to get done. But I will say, Dakota did. He boxed those. He taped those boxes twice as fast as
me. Let's see. Nariachi, it's going to be pre-orders will probably start shipping. Week after next?
All right. Hopefully next week. That's what we're hoping for.
Okay. All right.
It is very, very, very soon. We really the jam here is we got to get Reforged done. People have been waiting a long time, and Reforged everything lands at the same time. I don't know how that happens. It keeps happening. It keeps happening because there's so much stuff. But we got a couple more days to get all this stuff out, and then on to the starter kit.
All right. I'm gonna set us up a raid to get us out of here. We're reading to Mike Moans. He's doing some mini paint. Look like he's painting a lich dragon. Very nasty looking creature.
And I do want everybody to look out tomorrow. We will send a newsletter out announcing the site where you can, if you want to join us in the construction, you can definitely do that by buying a brick and helping us build a wall. That page should go up tomorrow, and we'll be good to go. And yes, thank you, Jeremy. Tonight's Patreon, I need to get you that file. Tonight's Patreon, we begin the play-by-poll, where I'm writing a small adventure, and you're just going to kind of choose the direction. If you're, I think at $5 and above, you get to play in this, and Jeremy will set up a poll. Whoever wins the poll is the direction that the character will go as they wander through this mysterious dungeon. So definitely head over on Patreon. That'll go up in an hour or so. Head over and back Patreon, and look tomorrow. If you want to join in the construction, you certainly can do so.
All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. You guys give Mike a big follow for us. We appreciate it. Give him a howdy for us over there. He's a fantastic mini painter, and we do some things with him. Great, nice guy. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. That's right, Trollza! And we'll be back probably, my guess is Thursday afternoon for our weekly roundup with all the employees, whoever's available, and so on and so forth. So we appreciate you guys so much. Have a great evening. Yes, we are having a private game for the Patreon this Saturday that I'm running, actually, for the Troll tier. Thanks, Jeremy, for reminding me about that. Yep, it should be pretty good. Some of the folks on it in the game are already in this chat right now anyways. And